Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another video, and this is a paid request for Lucas. Thank you so much for that. For those interested in requesting any type of videos, movie reviews, re-reviews, commentaries, tier lists, rankings, video game playthroughs, whatever the case may be, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal. I do have a CashApp as well. Links are down below in the info box. I will get to it as soon as I possibly can. For those who sent them, thank you. I do appreciate it. Again, PayPal's the best way to do it. Do have a Cash App as well. Links are down below. And to repeat one last time, it could be for pretty much any type of video. Like I said, a review, a re-review, random topic, tier list, ranking, whatever the case may be. Video game playthrough, whatever. I know I'm repeating myself, but I always have a bad tendency to do that. Seems like I forever will. Just one of those bad habits I can't break. But Lucas wanted me to do a commentary on The Incredibles. Now, I just played a video game of The Incredibles for him. Very rage-worthy. I hate that game. I think that and Spider-Man for the first one for PS2 with Tobey Maguire, just two of the worst PS2 games I've played. But people seem to have fun with that, which was cool. So it's all good. And he was very generous. And at the same time, he requested a commentary for this. Let's get into it. About already 90 seconds in. Enough lollygagging. Pause at the beginning. 3, 2, 1, pressing play. We have the Disney logo popping up. The Magic Kingdom Castle. Walt Disney Pictures. Now, this is a film that I always thought was okay. Got Pixar there. I never loved it like some people did. I don't know why. It's just, there are Pixar films I love. Wall-E is my favorite Pixar film. I love Wall-E. I think that's a very beautiful film, very cute film. And Wall-E always grabbed me. I like the story, I like the characters, beautiful animation. I will say, I don't hate this film. Like, this aspect is interesting, showcasing like this old interview footage, even have the scratch marks of the film, interviewing the heroes in their heyday. So you have these two heroes, Craig T. Nelson and Holly Hunter, and how, of course, you got Samuel L. Jackson. Jason Lee later we see is the villain. So you have a pretty good voice cast with that alone. Like I was saying, Pixar, throughout the years, I like Toy Story 1 and 2 for what they are. Wall-E's my favorite. Finding Nemo I saw in the theater. I thought that was pretty good. It was 2003, I want to say. A lot better than I thought it would be. Because that was the time I would just go to the theater just to see something. Just to take my mind off stuff. So every week or every other week, just go to the theater and go, what movie is playing? So I watch almost anything I could in the theater. And that was a different time in my life. And I'm like, wow, this is actually a pretty heartfelt, deeper movie than I thought it would be. And I'm like, okay, this is what Pixar's capable of. And then Wall-E, I think, even did even better with that. Of course, with the superhero tale, it makes sense to have your big action scene to possibly showcase what the heroes are capable of and what they can do. And yeah, I mentioned Craig T. Nelson as Mr. Incredible here. Always liked Craig T. Nelson as an actor. The two things I remember him the most for is Poltergeist as the dad. Really enjoyed it. I mean, the second one I don't mind, but the first one I particularly liked, Poltergeist. And Coach. I don't know if anyone remembers the TV show Coach, but it was on ABC. It lasted for 9 seasons, so it was a long, long time. And like I said, it kind of gets forgotten because, I mean, no one ever brings up that show nowadays. But it's weird how that works sometimes. How you have these shows that last 8, 9, 10 seasons and they get forgotten. But I remember liking Coach. Because it was him, it was Bill, I can never pronounce his last name, but it's the guy who would voice Patrick in SpongeBob SquarePants. And then you had, I think, Jerry Van Dyke. Of course, they all getting the cat out of the tree, but the problem is that it just won't let go. And there you go. Well, that works out. Like two pieces in a biscuit, take care of two things at the same time. We have Jason Lee's character. First introduction of him. Who seems to mean well as being a fan, but just takes fanboyism way too far. But yeah, throughout the years, Craig Nelson. He was also in Action Jackson, the Carl Weathers film, as the main bad guy. And from time to time, he would appear in a smaller role here, smaller role there. And I forget, this had a sequel. Because no one ever talks about the sequel. I think a lot of people who are fans of the first one did not even like the sequel. But Craig Nelson, good actor. Then we have Holly Hunter here, who I remember from Raising Arizona. She was in Copycat with Sigourney Weaver. This is the inclination that they are in love with each other, which will... Don't they kiss or something in a bit? Hey, a woman that flexible? There's a lot of things to think about. So they don't kiss here, just a bit of teasing. It's been a long time since I've seen this film, so I definitely don't have much commitment of memory to the movie. It's just so many movies trying to fit in that Peasley brain of mine. Like I said, it's been forever since I've seen the film. I did not because I never thought it was a bad film. I just remember seeing it going, yeah, it's okay. You know, just there's other films I like more. Kind of like my friend Mike, OCP Communications. Finding Nemo, he felt was the way he feels about that film was, you know, with how much the film's propped up, he thinks less so. Well, I quite enjoy Finding Nemo, and then he loves The Incredibles. To me, I'm like, it's there. Maybe because it just reminds me of other superhero films a bit much, like Fantastic Four, which I actually like the first 2005 Fantastic Four film. Because I know that's what some people say, this is the best Fantastic Four movie. I mean, I like the 2005 Fantastic Four film. So the kid definitely shows some ingenuity to make these shoes, boots, whatever, to propel himself up there. So the kid just does not realize there's a bomb on him, so... Misconception after misconception. You're ruining my stuff. No, I'm trying to save your life. And that's going to create a worse event. Now he's got to fix this shit. And if this kid just left things alone, things would have been fine. I know eventually maybe this or something else where there's going to be so much massive discrepancy of property that superheroes kind of get outlawed. Just too much collateral damage. I'm just looking at the way he's moving his hands and stuff, kind of like a politician. I should mention this is directed by Brad Bird. Now, Brad Bird, he had cut his teeth on stuff like The Simpsons. He worked on The Simpsons for quite a few years. In fact, there's a bit on The Simpsons where Homer's trying to get his pants on, and it takes forever, and these different poses of getting his pants on. And then that was very similar to later on when The Incredibles, like the teaser, that was Craig Nelson trying to get his pants out, which that scene might be in the movie, but I know it's more in the teaser because he's become more overweight. I mean, that's pretty similar to something that was on The Simpsons, which Brad worked on. As our characters here are getting married. But there you go, sued. Just the ridiculousness of Law and Order or justice. He tried to end his life, and tried to end his life. I save him, and then this here, it's yeah. Everybody wants a piece of the pie. Everybody wants a bit of that money. X-ray vision peeping Tom. One guy found a way to make some easy money. Now a bunch of people found a way to make some easy money. It's like when people get mad about a cop, but then when you're in trouble and, like, who you don't call? Ghostbusters? Yeah, Brad Bird, though, he had gotten into directing movies with The Iron Giant, and that's a pretty good film, The Iron Giant. It did not do well when it came out, but it's become a pretty beloved film after the fact. But yeah, The Iron Giant, that's some pretty gorgeous animation. Again, that's a pretty solid film in my opinion. But yeah, that had not done well. Now, Brad Bird got a chance to do this, and this did do well and helped his career. So then he got, I think he did the sequel, he did Mission Impossible, Ghost Protocol, the fourth one. I know he did the fourth one, as I'm squeezing my chair here, put my back to my heel. Because I got an itch on my foot. I'm too lazy to reach down and do it. So it sounds like I'm farting. I'm farting up a storm. D. Anyway. What I was saying is, yeah, The Incredibles 2, Mission Impossible 4, and then Tomorrowland. That's a film that nobody ever remembers for good reason, with George Clooney. Inconceivable. Yeah, Wallace Shawn's voice. I always remember Wallace Shawn from The Princess Bride, working with Andre the Giant and Mandy Patinkin, the three people stealing the girl, and he was always guy trying to be smart, saying inconceivable, and then got his ass poisoned. But yeah, Tomorrowland, like I said, it's one of those films where probably one of the most forgotten films of all time. Just like, that's one of those, as my voice cracking, that's one of those films I remember watching and going, what was the point of this movie? Like, this movie existed and that's it. So the gist here is that the kid is so super fast that he stole and messed with this guy's wallet. But the principal doesn't see, he sees nothing, so he thinks this guy's just crazy. They like the old school TV with the antennas and such on there. This kid was so fucking annoying to play as in the video game, his levels in that PlayStation 2 game, because you're constantly running, you're in the middle, you're just going forward, and you can't slow down, you can't stop. It's always in perpetual motion. You go 5 steps, you hit a pothole that you have to jump over. It's hard to control left and right. Because you have that forward momentum that doesn't stop. You don't know what's up ahead. You hit one thing, you go all the way back to the checkpoint. God, it got so fucking annoying. And then you had the second time we're in the jungle, and then there's like multiple paths. And if you go on the wrong path, you'll keep going in a perpetual circle. God damn, those levels were annoying. There's some most annoying parts of that damn game. So then we have the daughter character who's invisible, which in that game there was one level which sucked because her invisibility lasted like 10 fucking seconds. Damn, Mr. Krubbles would be like Michael Douglas and falling down. Defense! Dressed like him. White shirt, tie. Fucking tie business. He is dressed like falling down, like Michael Douglas, like defense. That's why you need to drink your milk, you eat your vegetables. They had no levels with the baby, funny enough, in that video game. I keep repeating that because I just played the video game. But yeah, Mr. Incredible, he had levels, and he honestly didn't feel as powerful as he should. There'd be times you hit the henchmen because they have armor, it takes like 7 to 10 hits. Holly Hunter's character is actually more fun to play because you just grab people and throw them, and once or twice they're dead. Does he cut into the plate? Yep. I remember that a bit. But I mean, there's been a few other stuff that detail things of this nature. I'm trying to remember Michael Chiklis, who was Thane in the Fantastic Four. He was actually in a TV show about a superhero family that was a sitcom. God, I can't remember what the hell it was called now. Well, actually, I'll just do this. What was the Michael Chiklis sitcom where it was a superhero family? No Ordinary Family. 2010, 2011. Did not last long. 20 episodes. That's it. But yeah, No Ordinary Family. With again Michael Chiklis, who was Ben Grimm, the Thing in the 2005 and 2007 Fantastic Four films. Of course, we have got Sam Jackson. I mean, Sam Jackson's been in everything, pretty much damn everything. I mean, what hasn't Sam Jackson? I say he's definitely made a career of himself to be associated with. I mean, think about it. This is a guy that you have that game of Kevin Bacon. Hell, you could do that with Sam Jackson. Like 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon, 4 degrees of Sam Jackson. I mean, this is a guy that was Eddie Murphy, Coming to America. You had early Spike Lee films, Jurassic Park. Worked with. Let's see, wasn't he in? Was it Patriot Games? I swear one of them with Harrison Ford. I could be wrong. But you had Dire with a Vengeance, and you had Pulp Fiction, and he's been in Star Wars films, he's been in a Tarzan film, he's been in a King Kong film, he's been in the Marvel films as Nick Fury. Tons of stuff. It's crazy. I think he was on the Tulsa team. I don't know if it's out yet. The season 3 is going to be Stallone and Sam Jackson. That'd be cool to see those two interact with each other. And just various other films. Unbreakable and Glass. There's Stakes on a Plane, of course. Jumper. I said Marvel, but all the Avengers, but also Spider-Man, which is Marvel. But I mean, the Sony ones like Far From Home as Nick Fury. Well, kind of Nick Fury or the fake Nick Fury. How the strange bit there. Remember, he had a TV show with Nick Fury that went nowhere because it was shit. Yeah, Nick Fury kind of had his own TV show about the Skrulls, Secret Invasion, and really no one gave a shit about it. So this level was in the game, and this level sucked because apparently Mr. Incredible bullets don't affect him, but fire does. Not granted, damn, even the bullets take his health down. But I mean, like, in the movie, the bullets would bounce off of him. But fire, at least in the game, like, it would, like, bounce him back. And if it's, like, a flamethrower, you'd be at a stun lock. And look how short that scene was. But they made a whole fucking level about that for some reason. Fucking Sub-Zero. Obviously, they put the movie eyes in there just to show that he's alive. You just melt him down. It's not like Mortal Kombat Sub-Zero where you're frozen and dead as hell. Yeah, it makes you wonder, like, okay, if there's a fire, why didn't they bring water with them and he could, like, freeze, fuck up the fire? Sam's character, that is. I looked up a little bit of info, at least, as they're having their marital spout. Came out 2004. Let's see. $92 to $145 million budget, $631 million worldwide. Let's see. Fourth highest grossing film of 2004. The others were Shrek 2 at number 1, Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban number 2, Spider-Man 2 was number 3. And Passion of the Christ was number 5. So, and that's worldwide, that is. It won Best Animated Feature and Best Sound Editing at the Oscars. Was nominated for Best Original Screenplay, Best Sound Mixing. Sequel came out 2018. I guess they're making a third film for 2028. Did not know they were going to make a third one. So Sarah Vowell is Violet, the shy girl who turns invisible. I don't even know what else she's been in. Not a whole lot. Yeah, not a whole lot. Some films I've never heard of. Spencer Fox is the son, who is super fast. Once again, he hasn't done much. A voice in Air Buddies as Mud Bud. An episode of a 2009 show called Cupid. Like, this is his whole film career. The Incredibles, something called The Groomsmen, Air Buddies, Neil Cassidy, Light, and a short film called Chat Room. And he was in 11 episodes of Kim Possible as a voice. This Wallace Shawn audience being a dick. Brad Bird Imagine as an homage to 1960s comic books and spy films from his boyhood. and he initially tried to develop it as a 2D cell animation, but the Iron Giant was a box office bomb. He reconnected with old friend John Lasseter at Pixar in March 2000, pitched the idea to him. They knew each other from their college years at CalArts in the 1970s. Lasseter was sold on the idea and convinced Brad Bird to come to Pixar, and the film would be done in computer animation. The dad is always expected in the family to be strong, so I made him strong. The moms are always pulled in a million different directions, so I made her stretched like taffy. Teenagers, particularly teenage girls, are insecure and defensive, so I made her turn invisible and turn on shields. And 10-year-old boys are hyperactive energy balls, and babies are unrealized potential. Well, Wall and Shawn deserve that. Knock the fuck out. Miyazaki of Studio Ghibli visited Pixar, not Pixar, saw the reels and said, I think it's a very adventurous thing you're trying to do in an American film. Syndrome was originally a minor character who assaults the mom and dad at the beginning of the movie, only to die in an explosion that destroys the house. But he was made the main antagonist because the filmmakers liked him more than the character of Zarek, who was intended to fulfill that role. Zarek is... Who the hell is Zarek? I don't remember who the hell that is. The snud character that Helen tossed to at the phone in the final film was intended to fly Helen to the island and to die, but he was removed from that position when Lasseter suggested having Helen pilot the plane herself. Oh, Trayton Olson was starring in The District. I forgot about that show. CBS from 2000 to 2004. Sometimes you have these shows that just pop up for 3-4 years. You completely forget about their existence. Teaser trailer. Yeah, I do remember seeing the teaser trailer with Finding Nemo. Do you remember that? $261 million in the U.S., but then over 630 million worldwide. 97% on Rotten Tomatoes. So a lot of good reviews. A lot of best of the year lists. Entertainment Weekly, IGN, Rolling Stone, Empire. Empire's 500 Greatest Films of All Time. It was at number 400. It has quite a few video games. The one I played. Then there's The Incredibles When Danger Calls, The Incredibles Rise of the Underminer. There's a Kinect game. There's a Lego The Incredibles. And again, there was a sequel in 2018. And yeah, there's a third one for 2028. So the sequel cost 200 million, but it made 1.2 billion dollars. Wow. It made 608 million in the US. So the sequel made almost as much in the US as this film did worldwide. Because again, this 631 million worldwide. The sequel made 608 million in the US alone. But total 1.2 billion. Okay, no wonder they were doing a third one. Makes a little sense now. Just a little bit more sense. Shit. Yeah, that makes a little bit more sense now. Just a little bit. Yeah, that Autopod thing, that's such an annoying fucking boss in the video game. Because you fought the boss. I mean, to talk a little bit about the video games as it's fresh in my head, I hate that video game. Number one, it's unnecessarily hard for some dumb reason. The first level isn't that bad. You're on rooftops and you get into. He's fat. He can't fit. He's a fat ass. He's big boned. For those who watch this, it's just like a podcast. It's him getting jettisoned out of the jet. He couldn't fit, finally did. Now he's going to the island. Well, he's going to find out sooner than later that it's a trap. But yeah, the first level of the game wasn't too bad. You're on rooftops, you're fighting bad guys. You didn't know the controls as Mr. Incredible, then as Holly Hunter's character. So yeah, they didn't have him trying to get into the pants like the teaser. They didn't show that, so. But. Well, I don't know, maybe they do it later because here we have him in blue, and of course eventually he'll be in the red garment, which would be more of the family color scheme. But. Yeah, the first level was fine, and then you got to the fire level, and that's where you're trying to swing, but then when you jump and they can spam bullets at you, and you get stun locked and fly off the damn map or into the fire. And again, this guy, bullets can bounce off of him, but fire hurts him so easily. Well, he did get cut there, so I thought bullets could. I swear there was something about bullets bouncing off him. Maybe I'm getting that wrong. I swear there was. Maybe I'm getting that wrong. Maybe I keep comparing him too much to Superman. I don't know. But yeah, I know the idea is that these devices, they study your movements, the way you fight, and then they copy it. I don't know if that's really that registered well in the game, though. But like I was saying, you go through the fire bit, and that's annoying. And then, like, the controls are reversed, inverted. More so the camera, and that's irritating. And they actually did have this in the game where you were fighting the thing amongst lava, and you had to like throw stuff at. But it took forever because there had to be like 3 fucking stages of the fight where you had to dodge and get out of its attacks, throw it, hit that bottom, hit at the top part when it's sticking its head out. But then it's like you defeat it once, but then there's like 2 more. So there's like 3 stages of the thing, so it's overly long. That doesn't need to be. And then like 30 minutes later you fight it again, only in a jungle setting. So they have inverted camera controls that you can't change. Bosses that just repeat itself over and over again. Like the octopod you fight at least 3 times. 1 on the lava bit, 1 on the jungle bit, and 1 at the end. But then there's this other boss where maybe they show it later that eventually throws bombs at you, and you pick up the bomb and throw it back. That they repeat 5 or 6 times. So it's like that boss is 5 or 6 times, the other one's like 3 times, and then you had the chopper in the first level. It's pretty much it for bosses. I did the one level with the teenage girl who could go invisible. Her power goes by so quick. You can't be creative, so I'll hide in the bushes. No, they'll see the move in the bushes and they'll go after you. When you're moving the camera, if there's rocks, walls, the camera will be blocked. So then like you're trying to move it, but because there's a wall there, the camera is like within the parameters of the environment. The fighting punches don't feel as strong as they can. So now he's got a new job that seems everything's fine and dandy, but not everything's as good as he thinks it is. Definitely a little bit suggestive. What is she pulling him back for? Not for just a massage. Again, girl that flexible. There's a lot of ideas you think of. I won't share it because that's not the point of this commentary, but I'm just saying, a lady that flexible, it's a lot of ideas. Too many ideas. She checked out his ass. I saw that, Holly Hunter. Your eyes went like this. It looked down. I saw that. You can't fool me. I think Brad Bird voices his character. I forget if they wanted Lily Tomlin or someone else for this character, but I think it's Brad Bird voicing this character. You know what? This seems like a character Linda Hunt would have voiced. When did Linda Hunt pass? When did Linda Hunt pass away? Oh, she's still alive. Wow. Sorry, Linda Hunt. She's still alive. Sorry about that. She's 81 years old. Sorry, Linda Hunt. For those who don't know, Linda Hunt, she was in, man, The Year of Living Dangerously, Dune. But I remember her from, she was the principal in Kindergarten Cop. She was in The Relic. She was in. Oh, was she really the voice of that character? Oh, and Solo: A Star Wars Story. Ooh, I swear. Oh, NCIS Los Angeles. Narrator in God of War. If you look at Linda Hunt, it's like, yeah, you've definitely seen her from back in the day. Good actress. It's just that when I looked at her design, it seems like someone Linda Hunt would have and should have done. So this is where the outfits were come into play. You don't think cheating on her? I don't think cheating on her, yeah. Sorry, I'm not having much to say. Oh, there's his red outfit. But again, they did not show him trying to get into it, so I guess that was just for the teaser. Maybe a lot more people were saying, that's pretty similar to The Simpsons. He's like, yeah, I won't put that in the movie. Just for teasing purposes. I guess for me, well, like I said, the movie is okay. It's got good voice acting. The animation is pretty good for its time. Fairly good, I should say. I didn't think it was as funny as people made it out to be, or as exciting as people made it out to be. I didn't. That doesn't mean bad. It's just, yeah, yeah. Just thought it was okay. And sorry if you see me like spaz out my mouth, my ears, just allergies. Allergies acting up. So apologies. Apologies for the allergies. Especially now that summertime is almost here. It's Texas, and the air is all fucking dry and shit. But anyway, who gives a shit? Yeah, hell of a lot of money. to be put into this. They did Mr. Incredible here. But even, why I wouldn't say I love and adore the film 10 out of 10. Like I said, it's okay. It at least takes itself serious enough. But still, it's a kid's film. It's not, pretentious or anything. I know I guess I'll go on this little tangent where the new Super Mario movie came out. I have not seen the movie, to be fair. I've seen the first film, and it was okay. Didn't mind it, but Super Mario Galaxy came out, and there's people who really liked it because they really liked the references and the how colorful it is, and bright and cheery it is. But they go, well, for a kids' film, the references, music, moments that remind you of the game, all that stuff. You know what? Let me actually hold up on that, because now we got Jason Lee as Syndrome. That kid grown up. Jason Lee, wow. Jason Lee, I remember I first saw him in the film Mallrats. Now, Mallrats was a film that I had vaguely heard about Kevin Smith because my brother's girlfriend at the time, who later became his wife, she was a fan of Kevin Smith, and my mom had bought some movies for her. It was as a gift. And I'm like, who is Kevin Smith? That was probably the first time I ever heard that name, because his films were not around where I was at the time. People at school did not. The only time people talked about movies at school was the new Adam Sandler film. It's pretty much it. So it wasn't until I went to, it was a place called Shopko. I want to say local place because we had to go about 20 miles or so to get to a place that actually had a decent amount of stores. But one of them in Iowa was Shopko. I remember looking at the VHS tapes, and I'm like, oh wait, there's a film called Mallrats? And I'm like, wow, it's people hanging out in the mall? That to me was such a cool idea, because I'm like, I want to hang out in the mall. There's no malls around here. There's kind of a mall, because there's like a little strip mall that has like 3 or 4 stores in it, and half of them are clothing stores. But it did have a little arcade, which, well, it had 2 things. A place called On Cue, which was the best store around to me. I forget, it later became, not Sam Goody, it became another, I forget what it was. What the name of the store was. Let me see. Stores similar to Sam Goody back in the day that would sell movies. I think Suncoast. Yeah, I think it became a Suncoast. Because, yeah, it just, I mean, it felt like more expensive and not as charming. But anyway. But it's like, wow, an actual mall. So I got the VHS, loved it. I'm like, who is this guy? He's really charming. He's really funny. It was Jason Lee. And after that, I really got sucked into the Kevin Smith realm, where soon after on cable, I saw Clerks. Loved Clerks. Clerks and Mallrats are two of my favorite Kevin Smith films. And then Jason Lee, I finally then saw Chasing Amy, and I thought Jason Lee was really good in that. I even saw the Bigfoot movie he was in called Drawing Flies, and it's a very quirky film. It's more about this guy's obsession and leads his friends out to search for Bigfoot, but then it's really about this guy kind of losing his mind. And you could say he did find Bigfoot, but you could interpret that he just lost his mind, or maybe he really did. He was, I don't know how you want to interpret, but very, very micro budget film in black and white. Interesting. Because Jason Mewes is in it as well. Ethan Suplee, who will later be with Jason Lee, was in Mallrats, but later be in the TV show My Name Is Earl. But yeah, I was really became a fan of Jason Lee. And then he would appear, he had a bit role in Enemy of the State, where he was on a bicycle and got hit by was it a bus? Some type of vehicle. And then Dreamcatcher, which was pretty awful of a film. Maybe that's where the bulletproof comes from, is the outfit. But yeah, long story short, became a fan of Jason Lee. I guess recently, he was those Alvin the Chipmunk films. He was in a couple of them. May I see Jason Lee's filmography? Just curious to see what he's doing now. Kissing a Fool with David Schwimmer. I don't know if I've even seen that film. Yeah, a lot of these films I haven't really seen. American Cuisine. He was in Dogma. Mumford, I've heard of Mumford. Yeah, Vanilla Sky was in. Stealing Harvard, which wasn't that great. He was the voice of Underdog. That was a really lame movie. The 4:30 movie, Kevin Smith, yeah, he was in that. Jane and Silent Bob reboot. My Name Is Earl, he was on that show for 96 episodes. We Bear Bears, which was on for a couple years, and had a movie. He was in The Residence. Alright. So he still works from time to time. I'm sure those Alvin and the Chipmunk films, he probably got at least a decent paycheck out of those. So I'm sure that helped him keep afloat for a bit. Memphis Beat? Crime comedy drama on TNT. He starred in it? I've never even heard of this show. Jason Lee was a police detective assigned to the General Assignment Division of the MPD, which is in Memphis, who loves his mother, the blues, his city, and Elvis Presley. His passionate devotion to his hometown is offset by his relaxed approach to his job, an attitude that frustrates by the butt Lieutenant Alfred Woodard, his new boss. See, that's what I mean. Learn something new every day. I did not know Jason Lee was in a TV show where he played a detective in Memphis. 20 episodes, 2 seasons. Again, you learn something new every day. I did not know that. See, that's what I mean. I was saying before, there'll be TV shows that existed? That's crazy. So sorry I went on that tangent of Jason Lee, but I'm a fan of the guy. I like a lot of the stuff he's been in, and yeah, always been a fan. So it was cool to see him voice his character. I remember there was this program called Dinner for Five. Jon Favreau, of course, who directed Iron Man. He's directed the new Mandalorian and Grogu movie. He had this show where him and a few other celebrities, they would sit down for dinner and just talk. And that was a really good show. They should re-release that for people to see. Because it's a bit hard to find nowadays. I mean, if you look hard enough, you may be able to find it. I have them on DVD, but the DVDs are long out of print. But those were a lot of fun. I mean, they were informative and casual. And there was a bit where it was Kevin Smith, Mark Hamill, Stan Lee, and Jason Lee. And Stan Lee's like, "Oh, you're such a nice guy. You were the voice of Mr. Incredible. I mean, of Syndrome. Man, he was such a bad guy. You were the voice." So it was just cool. I'm sure it must have been a trip. Complete, utter trip. The fucking, Jason Lee's getting compliments from Stan Lee about playing a super villain in a movie. God, can you imagine you're finding out that all of these heroes have been killed? So, I mean, that's what... I mean, for those who are watching as like a podcast, Mr. Incredible is on the computer about how he's learned, Syndrome is learning all the techniques of superheroes and having it adapt and eventually kill a lot of superheroes. A lot of them have been killed. And now he's in part of this trap where there's a shitload of cannons being possibly fired. Well, they're firing on him right now. And then we're cutting to, well, we'll cut back to Holly Hunter finding out where this guy's at. So Mr. Incredible is being caught by this black goo that was shot around him. And Holly Hunter is... toilet paper? Don't you have Kleenexes? Toilet paper's going to scratch the shit out of it. That's why you don't want to be blowing your nose with toilet paper. Kleenex, much more softer, less rough around your nose and such. But if you can find that, it's a pretty cool little sit down. Let me see if it's online somewhere. Dinner for Five. Jason Lee. Yeah, it's on the website vk.com. It's like a Russian website. Oh, it says available, not... Oh. Video unavailable. The video is no longer available because the YouTube account... Okay, so... I just... Never mind, it's not available. That's fine. You said it was. No. Not seeing on here. Actually, I mean, I don't know why they don't just re-release that stuff. It's entertaining. It's interesting. They have to make it so fucking difficult. I don't know why. Well, again, if you can find it, it's a cool episode to look at. So yeah, apparently she was going to be flown here by someone who gets killed, but they're like, no, let her fly the plane. I just to make her more proactive. Her be the driving force for this. I think the kids are with her, right? Does she find that out? The kids are in the back and such? Oh, but I was mentioned before with Super Mario Galaxy. Again, I've not seen the film. I've only seen the first, but there's this conversation about how all critics are being too harsh on it because it's just a kid's film. Because apparently the film, like the first, maybe even more so like the first, it's just references to the game, colorful images, music that you recognize. That's pretty much it. As some critics are going, well, it should try a little bit more on story, to try a little bit more on characters. And then there's people that argue, well, does it need to do that because it sells on the property alone? But based on the first film, I would get why critics are saying. Why they're saying that. Yes, no one's going to look at Super Mario Brothers movie or animated film and think it's going to be Schindler's List or The Shawshank Redemption. But if you look at films like this even, you look at films like Finding Nemo, you look at films like Wall-E, you look at films of those type of nature, they have a bit more in terms of the character development, the writing, story that people latch onto and will carry with them. And you still have the fun entertainment that a kid will get into and enjoy, but then a little bit more merit. That when the kid sees it and enjoy the action and the animation, but then they get older, they appreciate the other aspects that they couldn't appreciate about it before. Instead of being something that they get older and they go, oh, okay, well, yeah. And I'm not saying every film back then did that for a kid's film or animated film, no. And yeah, there could be merit to that as well. There are films that are just fun, goofy pieces of entertainment. Ernest. You know, if I look at it, Ernest Scared Stupid or Ernest Saves Christmas. There's no deep character development of Ernest P. Worrell. But at the same time, you know, that could be entertaining and fine. And fun. I think people go, when you look at something like that, imagine a Mario movie that did have this and other movies of Pixar like caliber of character work and to me, that would make it even more grandiose. That would make even more of a bigger impression on people. Because it could be fun, but then that can only work for so long before people get tired of it. Now, the Mario films are doing very terrific business. But again, if you don't work harder on it, then people, I think, goodwill and intentions can only get you so far, and then people go, okay, enough's enough. Like, you know, try a little bit harder on those other fronts. So, again, for those watching this podcast form, we found the kids on the plane. The planes got blown up. The three-piece family had fallen to the water. I'm laughing because I love the power bits with Holly Hunter that she could turn to a parachute. I think that's pretty cool. Oh, stop being a baby. Kid, you're super fast. You just run on the water. Just run on the fucking water. And it shows the difference between Syndrome and this henchwoman. I mean, Syndrome, Mr. Incredible. One's willing to let someone get sacrificed and the other's not, and Syndrome knows it. Called his bluff. Called his bluff. Nicely animated on Jason Lee's character's eyes, where he's like, because he knew for certain that nothing bad was going to happen, or he knew for certain he wasn't going to do that, but what it does is plant the seed into the henchwoman, which I think is Elizabeth Peña. Sadly, she's passed away. She was in Rush Hour as the bomb expert lady. She was in Jacob's Ladder. Sadly, she's passed away. I forgot Holly Hunter's theater turned to a boat. I love the different interpretations of Holly Hunter's character because of her elastic nature. That stuff is very cool. Because, I mean, that also just creates a lot more creative possibilities of how to use that power. Which, sadly, you don't get to do a whole lot of that in the game. It's just grab someone and throw them, or swing. That's it. But imagine, like, okay, there's a level where you become a parachute. You float, with good controls, float and avoid stuff, and these fun little sections of a game. But no, we're trying to have the game be fun. Fuck that. Gotta be annoying as piss. Fucking game. Let's have the camera controls inverted. So if you push down, you're looking up, and you push up, you're looking down, and you push left, you're looking right. Let's have, Mr. Incredible hit the guy, 8 times until there are a couple of super punches and finally go down after like 7, 8 fucking punches. Let's fight the same boss 5, 6, 7 times. At least one of them, and then the other like 3 times. Let's have Mr. Incredible. A lot of times there's these guys in the air that you can't reach. And then you try to throw something, it's supposed to auto-lock, and it doesn't. Or it doesn't where the hell it feels like it. Or they could stun lock you and shoot their lasers. God damn, so many parts of that could be fucking annoying. Son of a bitch. But I mean, again, a lot of people see, there's a decent amount of people that liked it, the Rage, so. The game is painful, the incredible bad game. What about the Rise of the Underminer game? Never played the game. Haven't played the others. So. But now the henchwoman got these seeds where now she knows who her boss truly is. Because one thing to be done to other people, but it's another to be done to her. I was like, this guy's going to turn on you sooner or later. This guy's going to screw you over sooner or later. This guy's not going to care about you sooner or later. So, what you going to do? Yeah, a lot of the levels just were not fucking fun in that game, man. And yeah, when you got to this section with the factory, it all like either the jungle sections all look the same, or the inside parts all look the damn same. I'm curious about something. Sorry, folks, I know being silent on this. Okay, there was a Wall-E video game. I was just curious. Did they make a Wall-E video game? Yes, they did. So I guess they made one for PS2 and PS3? I'm sure there's a difference between those two. Huh. Yeah, I was just curious. So yeah, they did. Pretty much any animated, well, that's not, many animated films they'll make a video game out of. So that's not uncommon. See, her powers are more fun to watch than anybody else's. Did you just like being stuck in the wall there, and people being confused, people being clotheslined? when you have more of that creativity of what you can do, definitely helps. But yeah, like I said, when you have a superhero family, the one that you get reminded of is Fantastic Four, which I guess you would call the first superhero family would be the Fantastic Four, which there's been plenty of films made about them. There was the Roger Corman produced one that eventually never got officially released. You can find a watch now, and in fact, you can find a watch. I think I think they worked on the picture quality. I forget who released it. If it's just bootleg, I can't remember. But it is out there. Same with documentaries and such. And so yeah, maybe a boot. I don't know. No, I mean, well, anyway. That one, its intentions were good, but I don't think it's that good of a movie. The 2005 one I liked. I've always liked the 2005 Fantastic Four film. Always liked it. Always enjoyed it. I like. I don't like the Silver. The second one with Silver Surfer. I was very disappointed in. Very disappointed. Sound like Rayman. Yeah. Very disappointed. You know what? The 2015 one I don't hate. I do admit that it's a bit too. I get the issues people have with it. It's not that I'm blind to the issues Fantastic Four Fan Four Stick has. It's just that, considering all the films I've seen, I just didn't hate it. I didn't think it was as bad as people made it out to be. I like the acting was fairly dry, but I didn't mind actors like Miles Teller or Michael B. Jordan in it. Doctor Doom, I kind of liked how he was a guy going around making people's heads explode. I guess kind of is more simplistic in nature and a little bit more of a different tone that just felt different from others. Most would find more boring. I can understand that, trust me. But just something about it. I'm like, I don't mind its tone. I don't mind how serious it's taking itself and trying to be less cheesy, campy. I don't mind it. So I just wish the director was able to do what he fully wanted to do and see his full vision. Sorry about that with my throat. Kinda pretty precarious spot, ain't you, Mr. Incredible? You have a lot of explaining to do. Yeah, one of the levels he had with the kid was running to school. I'm like, is that really a level in this fucking game? Running to school? That's what we need to put in? Which he never even does in the fucking movie, is run to school. And also, if he, I'm not sure if it's in the, well, maybe at the end here, at the end of the movie, where he runs so fast he like overheats. But yeah, the Fantastic Four films, the last one I didn't care for at all. I didn't give a shit. Like, they built it up as if that first Steps movie was going to be such a big fucking deal, and was it really a big fucking deal? Was it really? How much money did Fantastic Four First Steps make? Okay, so it had a $200 million budget, and it made 521 million worldwide. Think about that. Cost 200 million. I can't imagine what the hell the marketing was on that, but it made $521 million worldwide. That's not great. I mean, excuse me. Oh, I remember this section of the game, goddamn. There's a door to a cave system in this too. Yep, there you go. This annoying fucking section. This is where I was really losing my mind in the game, going through this cave system, because you could barely see inside the cave. So you just run into one damn thing, you go all the way back. It's so fucking annoying. And then you have these things get in front of you because it's the laser blast. Like, I'm trying to pay attention, you keep doing this to me. Damn, punch the damn kid. Punched him in the face. Then you get this double teamwork, which there is a level where you get to utilize this. Well, actually, more than one. Just there's one where it's just the two of them, and then there's one where it's all four of them. Which, God, I mean, even that should have been a lot more fun than it was. Fucking Syndrome, and I have the cheat codes on. It is crazy though when you look at like the backstory syndrome that technically he has killed all of those superheroes time and time again, obliterated like the good chunk of superheroes. When Craig Thanos was going through that list and X X X, they have to count like how many superheroes he's actually killed and murdered. Yeah, this is the big bad monstrosity you fight at the end of the video game. And yeah, if you hear that, yeah, that's a rooster in the background. How it is in the middle of nowhere. Or kind of in the middle of nowhere. Yeah, sorry I don't have a whole lot to say. It's just... I mean, we're getting to the third act of the film because we got 23 minutes left, plus that includes the end credits. But I would say the film is well voiced, well animated movie that has some decent family interactions, couple moments that are chuckle worthy for me at least. Action wise, it's okay at times. I wouldn't say it's the action that I say is the best ever or anything, but it's okay at times. But it's a decent movie. It's a decent film. I don't want to make it seem like I hate the film. I do not hate the film. I think when I first saw it, I'm like, okay, it seems just people like prop it up as like the best. You know what happens? A film comes out, it's new, and granted, to this day, many people consider it one of their favorite films. They love the film, they adore the film. I'm just not in that high realm of value for the movie. I just think it's a decent film. It's not that I have a lot of details as to why, it just... Maybe the story's just a bit too familiar for me, or maybe the story's just not as invested in as I was in other stories and with other films. So he wants to be looked at as the ultimate hero. But think your own machine has turned against you, dickhead. Your own machine's like, fuck you, I ain't taking orders from you anymore. You piece of shit. I gotta say, Elastigirl, I mean, she's a lot stronger than she looks. To be able to keep that up for that long of fucking time. Like, goddamn. They even strain a muscle. It's like, come on. I mean, it's a cartoon. But it's like, come on. The whole thing, like, it's going to land from that height, and the wheels are going to still stay on the damn thing. Like, how high was the thing? And the wheels would just fucking come off, and probably would have exploded, too. The thing would have blown up. But it's a cartoon. I really don't go into, I'm not going to be like IGN on a tangent. For those who watch this now in the future, there's a video game called Mouse PI for Hire, which looks like a fun game. I like to play it one day. But Mouse PI for Hire, and this critic from IGN gave it a 6 out of 10. But the reasons are, it's too unrealistic, and it's not like a film noir. Like it says, it's a black and white film noir, but this character's a mass murderer, and if you do all this, you'd be put in jail, and how does this make sense? And I'm like, you're a cartoon mouse shooting cartoon mice and other robots and other shit. It's like getting mad that a Looney Tunes cartoon doesn't make logical sense. What the fuck are you talking about? There's too many references to cheese. Well, yeah, it's a world of mice. This is like the dumbest shit. Like, if you can look up the video, IGN Mouse for Hire review. It's like the dumbest fucking review, but I didn't even play the game, so it's dumb. But here we have the family working together against this monstrosity. Knocked her the fuck out. But yeah, this was the last boss in the video game that you fight against. Pretty much as Mr. Incredible. Pretty much a family member distracts it. Whether it be your son and daughter, whether it be Sam Jackson's character, whether it be Holly Hunter's character. And then as they're distracting it, you throw stuff at when it pops up from the bottom, its head. Up there you go. Let's play Keep Away. Damn, how far did you throw it, dude? But there's definitely some good action here, some good wide shots to show the location, the geography of everything. Nice usage of Sam's powers as well. Kind of like Iceman from the X-Men. Icing pass from the slide around. Inward and onward, more onward. Yeah. I don't know why he couldn't take out the... Like, look at how much fucking ice he just shoot out, but he couldn't take out the fire earlier. I guess you just say maybe they're trying to hide their superpowers, but it's like... What would it matter if you're hiding your faces? I guess maybe they go, whoa, freeze power must be that guy. Maybe, I don't know. And that's what you had to do at the end. Because I had not seen the game, I had not seen the film in a while. So at the end, it's like this targeting system. Like, what am I doing? What am I doing? And you just had to aim and then get to a point where you fire the damn rocket right towards it. Well, there you go. Right through its heart. Teamwork makes the dream work. I'm not talking about the distinct details of the animation. Leave that to people who actually have a hand in animation and have done animation and have, a background in it. The articulated texture of this scene is much more detailed than the, like, sorry. I don't think. Again, it's too bad a lot of those heroes are dead. Yeah, don't. Yeah, we're not over yet because there's going to be the baby, the stuff with the baby we still have yet to see a syndrome. Because it does make you kind of think for a bit. That's the end because they destroy the big bad creature, but except he doesn't know what this baby's capable of, and he's going to regret every minute of it. Just wait for the baby to wake up. But I do like this because it makes you think, okay, the family's going to, but damn. Because it makes you think that, oh, it's going to be the family rescuing their baby, but then you realize, holy shit, what the fuck is this baby made out of? What the hell? Because it turned like a little fireball, and it turned to like lead, and then it turned to like a little gremlin thing. And like, what the fuck? And this is all about. Up, that was noted earlier with about the cape. We saw earlier about the mishaps with the cape. Why? Nope, don't have a cape. And that's a funny bit with the baby being like, huh? And the mom trying to be, hey, everything's okay while the damn plane is exploding behind me. I would say I like I like the film more now than I did back then. Like back then, I would go, okay, it's a bit overrated, and you know, it's there, and but watching now, I'm like, it's okay. It's an okay film. I don't mind it. It's that film I rewatch over and over again, but decent flick. I know I've repeated that multiple times, but yeah, decent flick. I guess now that she actually shows her face, he can actually see her face and go, oh. Just before he's like, we couldn't see your face. He wants to be faster, but he's got to hide it. Isn't this like John Ratzenberger? The Incredibles. Well, there you go. So this was fun to watch again. Brad Bird. I would still say his best film is The Iron Giant, but this is a decent one. Again, have not seen the sequel. I did not like his Mission Impossible film. I know a lot of people love Ghost Protocol, but to me, I like the third one more. I like Rogue Nation more, which is the fifth one. I would definitely say I like Fallout more. But yeah, Ghost Protocol I could not get into. And then Tomorrowland, I would say that's his. I would say that was his worst one. Definitely his most forgettable one. Because I've seen that film. I can't tell you what the hell the plot of that film was. Other than George Clooney was in it. I don't know if anyone can. Without looking it up. What is Tomorrowland about? And is there anything worth a shit about it? So. But yeah, he hasn't directed. I think he's got another film coming out. I forget what it's called though. But yeah, yeah, you got a third one coming out in a few years. We'll see how that goes. I'm just flipping through the credits to see if there's anything else in the credits. Pretty much just more sort of these designs and details. No, that's pretty much it. So, with that said, thank you once again, Lucas. Take care, everyone, and we will see you in the next video. Bye-bye for now. Cheers.